Tiger fans, as it stands right now, who would be playing the backup ruck role for Richmond if the round one team was picked tomorrow? Now, obviously, we're going to go into round one with Toby Nankervis as our number one ruck, which I think we are all probably in agreement upon. But the big question remains, what are we going to do for this backup ruck position? And there's a few options on the table, and it seems to divide a lot of people, which is good because it means there's different views, different opinions, and that's what we're all about. So make sure you put your opinion below who you think the backup ruck's going to be. But some of the contenders for this, you obviously got Samson Ryan, who's been playing as a ruck forward or a forward ruck for most of his time at the Tigers, has probably been backed in a lot by the club with that 3-year extension, has shown some really good signs in the pre-season in intra-club training and things like that. Didn't have a massive game against West Coast. I don't think he had a bad game either. I think it was kind of a so-so in-between game. Still wasn't clunking the grabs around the ground. Still does some pretty good tap work though. And had that really nice pass to Sam Lawler that was an absolute bullet, which was really good to see, but still needs to offer a bit more in the marking contest ways, around the ground, which I think is one of the main things everyone's asking for. So I'm not sure if he's putting his hand up just yet. I'm hoping he comes on in leaps and bounds, obviously. Liam Fawcett played as a forward. I don't think he's equipped to do the second ruck role. I'm not sure if he's fully learned and adapted to the forward role yet, so I don't know whether we can throw that at him and make that a bit more complicated. Hayes Brown was another one who played in the West Coast game, 208 centimetres, played predominantly as a forward and obviously spent some time on the ruck. He's filled out really nicely, probably on the more inexperienced side, but he does have some genuine height, seems to be able to be reasonably good at using his body in those physical ruck drills. I'm not sure how he'll go at a centre bounce at AFL level. But look, he's got the height advantage over a lot of ruckmen, so maybe it's worth a shot. It just comes down to, will we get something else out of him when he goes forward? I think I said this in another video, that if he can actually get into the habit of marking the ball at the highest point, kind of like Mason Cox, that he might actually draw quite a few free kicks from opposition defenders if he gets in the right spots. So maybe he's an option. The other options are going to be kind of more your hybrid type players. So you've got someone like a Ben Miller, who is probably going to be playing as a key defensive player, you would imagine, from round one. He might have to do some ruck work to chop out, which he has done in the past, and I know that Ben Miller divides a lot of people, but he can play both of those roles. I'm not at all suggesting he's playing them both to an extraordinarily high level, but someone has to give Nank a chop out, and if we think we can get gains in other parts of the ground, then maybe it falls back to Miller to do something like that. Kazitsky was another one, similar position to Miller. I feel if Kazitsky's going to play for us in the seniors, he's going to be playing as a key defender. He showed quite a bit there against the Eagles. I thought he put his best foot forward in that aspect. But he would be another one that would probably have to look at doing some backup ruck duties when Nank's off the ground, if we don't have another genuine tall down in the forward line to do it. So he would be another one. In terms of, Noah Bolter, when he comes back, he's done it before, has a great leap, but there's obviously the argument, you don't want to put someone like Bolter into the ruck and risk knee injury and things like that. So I can completely understand that aspect. I've seen, RFC Tiger on Twitter, I know we were talking about it today. You threw up Bauer. I'm not sure if Bauer's got the size to do it. He's only about 193, 94 centimetres. Very slight of frame. I just don't think we can throw him to the Wolves in a rucking situation. I know we used someone like Grigg and even Marlon Pickett previously, but they were probably a bit more muscular defined. And Grigg had elite midfielders at his feet that it really probably didn't matter. And he didn't even jump some of the times, did he? And we still won the clearance. So I'm not sure if Bauer can do anything like that. McKelty Lafau was another one who's been floated for when he comes back. He's done it a bit in the VFL as a bit of a makeshift backup ruckman. He's got obviously great size, good spring in his step, and so he might be an option too. I don't think we're going to look at using a Harry Armstrong. Tom Lynch we won't use. And I think that's kind of about it from the talls we might play. Sims is obviously the other one who we saw versus West Coast. I don't know if he's going to see AFL game time early enough to be factored into the conversation. Long term, different story. I think he'll be well and truly in the mix for that. But yeah, I'm just not sure. Who are we going to use for the backup ruck in round one versus Carlton? Very keen to hear everyone's thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think. There's no right or wrong answer for this one. It's going to be fascinating to see what we do. I think we might get a better idea come the match sim against Collingwood, or the practice game against Collingwood, being a proper 4-quarter hit out. I tend to think we might go with a forward line of Tom Lynch, Bauer. I'm thinking Campbell Gray might be the other forward. Now, I don't know if Campbell Gray has had ruck experience, but he might be another one that will maybe have to learn to do it in a makeshift capacity, potentially. And if we do go with those three and Campbell Gray doesn't ruck, then I feel like it's going to go to someone like Ben Miller or Jacob Kazitsky, whichever one of them is playing a defensive role. So that's where I think we'll end up. But that's said with no certainty whatsoever. Keen to hear what you all think in the comments below. Make sure you let us know, and like and subscribe for more Tiger content. And I'll see you for the next one. Go Tigers!